I'm Adam.
And I'm Sunny.
And this is Where There's a Williams,
There's a Way.
Hey, Sunny, were you one of the cool kids in school?
Not really. When there are 218 kids in your family, you really need to do something big to stand out. What about you?
I think popularity is something that changes over the years. When I was in elementary school, I would say I was one of the popular kids. When I was in middle school, I was very much not popular. Then in high school, I was generally accepted. These days, I'm incredibly popular with kids.
Why do you think that it changes?
I think that people are looking for different things throughout their life. At first, it's just someone to play with.
I'm always down to play.
Then people start comparing themselves to each other with things like clothes.
I'm in trouble with that one.
Me too. Then I think of people, they start appreciating others for just being a nice person.
I think you're nice.
Thanks. I think you're nice too. In today's book, a bean is comparing himself to the cool kids. Let's get started.
The Cool Bean, written by Jory John, illustrations by Pete Oswald. Watch out, here comes the cool beans. The cool beans. Oh yeah, check out how they move. Look at the way they swagger. Notice their sunglasses? Yow! The cool beans are known all over school, from house to house, across town, beyond county lines. In the olden days, last year, we were all one big pot of beans. We were a mixed bag, but somehow it worked. Yep, those were the good old days. And then we stopped seeing each other as much. That's just how it is sometimes. You spend less time together, even though you're not totally sure why. I watched as the beans I knew so well, the beans from my own pod, became the cool beans. Oh, they were so cool. One of them could play the guitar. Cool. One of them could draw the best superheroes. Cool. One of them could jump higher than any bean I'd ever known. Cool. Me? Well, I mostly stayed the same. Sure, I made some small changes. I wore sunglasses. Too big. I slicked my hair back. Too slick. I strutted around. Ow! I swaggered. Ugh! I would still pick last for everything. My clothes never seemed to fit. I snorted when I laughed. I walked into stuff. I was an uncool bean for sure.
Why is this kid doing all these things that are clearly not him? It's like he's pretending to be someone else.
That's common. I think there's a time in everyone's life where they try to explore new things. Sometimes that means trying out a new look.
For a short time, I wore a sombrero because I like Speedy Gonzales.
How'd that work out for you?
Those things are so big. They're great for wearing outside in the sun, but they're not meant to be worn anywhere the sun isn't shining.
When I was in high school, flannel shirts were gaining popularity. My dad had a bunch of old ones, so I wore one to school that day, and the back ripped halfway through the day, and I decided that flannel shirts were not for me.
I started thinking of myself as just a common being with no special skills. I couldn't compete, so I didn't even try. I'd never be a cool bean. It seemed like there were two types of beans in the world. There were the cool beans and the beans like me. The days all blended together. I lived my life and things were just okay. I took tests and ate lunches and mostly kept to myself. The cool beans continued being cool. I mean, sure, I missed them a bit, but it's not like I was gonna say anything. I felt like all that coolness had gotten in the way of our friendship. And that's how it went. Until one day, I was in the cafeteria. I dropped my lunch on my loafers. Oh no, not again. But then something sort of miraculous happened. Out of nowhere, one of the cool beans helped me clean it up. He didn't even say anything. He just gave me a nod. And that was it. Later, I was out on the playground. I tripped and scraped my knee, maybe cried a little bit, and everybody saw it. Another one of the cool beans came to my side, and without a word, he dusted me off. That afternoon, I was sitting in class. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't notice, but our teacher had called on me. Everyone stared. I sat there in silence. Nobody said anything. And then, Then, everybody just laughed. At me. That was it. After today, I was officially a has-been.
Oh man, how embarrassing. That is tough when you get called on when you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, usually it's tough on the student and the teacher.
What do you mean?
Well, it depends a little bit on the scenario, but a teacher is standing up in front of a whole group of people, and if they're teaching something that the kids don't like or understand, it's really hard.
Why?
Think of it like when you're telling a story and people think it's boring and clearly don't care.
Or if you're trying to help someone but they won't let you?
Exactly. Some teachers like to call out kids that aren't paying attention. I try to have lessons that are engaging enough to keep people interested.
Like fun coloring things?
Not necessarily. I like to do hands-on activities where kids are exploring and working on something, and they might not even realize that they're learning and playing at the same time.
So you're trying to trick them into learning?
Maybe not trick them. I would say pique their interest so they're exploring and making their own connections to the material.
It seems to me that this beam is exploring something that the teacher isn't talking about.
But then, one of the cool beans stood up and came over to me. Everybody watched. She leaned in close and whispered, "Hey, the teacher asked you to read from page 32. And she gave me a quick wink and went back to her seat. It was a small gesture, sure, but it was also everything. I walked home with a goofy smile on my face. I smiled all the way through dinner. That day made all the difference. It was a day that could have been really bad if not for the kindness of a few cool beans. It gave me a shred of confidence. That shred of confidence has continued to grow. Somebody had my back, or a few somebodies. After that, I started hanging out with the cool beans again. How you been? Get it? How you been? Not all the time, but sometimes. At lunch, after school, even on the weekends. Throughout all of this, I realized that it's not about how you look or any of that other silly stuff. It's about a wink or a nod or a smile at just the right moment. It's about dusting somebody off, helping them up again, and pointing them in the right direction. Need a hand? Yes, please. Now that's cool.
I think that it's all about confidence.
Confidence certainly helps. I think that confident people are often happier.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because those that are the people that have figured out who they are and have accepted it.
So confident people don't have to pretend that they're someone that they aren't?
For sure.
So it seems like these cool beans are not just confident, but also nice to others.
It is never a bad time to be nice to people.
I think that if you're nice, then people give you the benefit of the doubt, too.
I definitely agree with that. There are always those people that you see and think, they are so nice. My father-in-law is one of those guys.
I think that you are, too.
I try to be. Do you know what else is nice?
Does it have anything to do with subscribers?
It sure does. If you like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. I'm Adam.
And I'm Sunny. And this is Where There's a Williams, There's a Way. Did you know beans have been cultivated by humans for 6,000 years? In Nicaragua, newlyweds are given a bowl of beans for good luck.